so far in the first couple days?
You know what? I can never remember anything until I look at my phone. I thought off-site, I thought Eidos Napoli was fantastic. I really loved it. I loved this Avadia and Sons we've just seen. Was really good. I thought Robert Geller was great this morning, which was the first one to christen. Can't remember if it's this space or the other one. I think it's this one. Really impressed generally. I mean, but it's not so much individual brands as there's a really positive feeling here. We all had very high hopes of it, but there's a really I'm kind of impressed by what the buzz is huge. So we just can't wait for tomorrow and see what that brings. At the moment, it's just really, it's exactly what many of us, we've all been talking about it, exactly what we hoped it would be.
Because you've been working on this for quite some time, helping put it together.
I mean, I can't say I did anything.
Well, you chimed in. You were
I
a good voice.
chimed in when asked, but you know, and everyone, I think they were really kind in involving people, the CFDA, but they're clearly, you know, the CFDA is not messing about. They wanted to do this properly, and I'm glad they waited, because this, I said to someone today, this doesn't feel like Fashion Week 1. It feels like 3 or 2. Like where, you know, things are really working, and I'm very impressed.
So you think it's here to stay?
I sincerely hope so. The amount of work people have put into it, and I think there's absolutely a justification for a New York Men's Fashion Week that's dedicated. You see the sort of the vibrancy and the enthusiasm, and I think it's partly because we've got our own thing now, and I think that's fantastic.
You've been at Esquire for how many years now?
For 11 years, yeah.
11 years. So it's really good to see. Obviously, American fashion is a big part of what you do, and it definitely drives a lot of the conversation on the global level. Why do you think that is? Why is American fashion so inspirational to design on the global level?
You know, I mean, it's funny because we see that some of the coolest Japanese brands that everyone loves are doing American style their way, and they're reinventing it and reinterpreting it, and they're taking elements from the past and the future. And we love it, and we love it probably because it's a mirror to ourselves. It's something that travels the world. America gave the world's youth almost all of its uniform, whether it's from rock and roll, kind of denim jackets, leather jackets, jeans, sneakers, chinos, military clothes. Anything to do with comfort has come from comfort, and functionality has come from you know, American workwear and military clothes and streetwear. And so, you know, it's everywhere. So even if we're celebrating New York right here, we're kind of celebrating American style every time we go to Paris, and half the time we're in London, and any time we're in Japan. It's everywhere, you know.
Now we're on day 2. What are you looking forward to upcoming in the next couple of days?
Well, since I can't remember what's happening tomorrow, I can tell you tomorrow morning.
Here we got John Elliott. We have Richard
first
Chai.
thing tomorrow. Richard Chai. We expect always good things of Richard.
And John Barbados to close. Tell me a little bit
Barbados,
about that. That's a big deal for.
Yeah, everyone's really chuffed that he made a really big step to not show in Milan. That's a commercial choice that is a big choice, and he obviously had to think long and hard about it. And I think it's hats off to him for being one of our figureheads. And he's a quintessential American designer. It's great that he's going to be showing inside this fashion week.
Yeah, but just a couple quick more off the cuff. Like, what are some of the things that guys definitely have to have in their wardrobe? Like a good pair of jeans, khakis, like everything. Like, what's for spring especially? What are the key things that guys need to have?
You know, I think increasingly men are looking for clothes that are comfortable and functional. And 5 years ago we were all dressing up like crazy, and they were like, well, I'm still got a pocket square, but that's just to clean my glasses. It was pocket squares and funky shoes and crazy jackets, and it was like layers of go-go. Now men are really sort of paring things down, and partly the heat has something to do with it, but really men want an easy life, and I think there are ways to feel dressed up without really actually doing the old school idea of dressing up. So that means a really, really good t-shirt is always a good idea. These days you can wear it with a jacket without it being kind of a thing or a problem. My go-to thing is always to have like some sort of cotton unlined jacket, whether it's single-breasted or double-breasted, doesn't really matter. It's just something that's sort of
keeps it all tailored,
but you just throw that on at the last minute. I'm getting out the car, I'm going to throw that jacket on.
Yeah.
And it just sort of tops off an outfit, and it makes it feel, to me, it feels sufficiently dressed. I wouldn't say dressed up, but dressed,
Now, a lot of people I've talked to have talked about how there's this cohesion to this, and we're only in day 2, and it just feels really, this whole space is beautifully designed. What's one of your worst fashion show experiences?
Oh my God, my worst fashion show experience, apart from near-death ones.
Near death, tell me.
Near death, lights falling on, not on me, but nearby. In the old days that people used to do in Milan or in Paris, people used to go, oh no, we've got a great idea, we're going to do a fashion show, it's 50 feet underground in an old Napoleonic ammo dump, which involved going down a sort of ivy-covered staircase of 500 people in a space of 20 minutes. You know, those
With
kind of
no
things.
air conditioning.
No air conditioning. Air conditioning is always a really, really big plus. No, these days it's a lot better. I don't think I don't feel it's anything like as uncomfortable as it used to be. I mean, you see old videos now of fashion shows from the 90s where literally people are not even focusing on the show because they're just doing this like crazy with their programs. I think things have got a lot more comfortable, but the environment has a lot to be said for it. The worst show things, without naming any brands, are the ones where there's so much production involved that you can't actually see the clothes, which is what you're supposed to be there for. It's either too uncomfortable to really get it, or you're too crowded, or it's too dark, or it's too hard, the light, you can't take any pictures. So it's really, we're here to see clothes and celebrate that, and anything that gets in the way of that is a bit of a downer.
And New York is the perfect backdrop to that.
Well, this studio here, the Skylight, seems like it's been here forever. I mean, the weird thing is that there has been a men's fashion week. It's just been sort of subsumed within the women's for so long, and menswear here is a really strong community, and we like to think of ourselves as a little bit of a civilized sort of village of friends and mates and co-workers, and now we've got a space and a time that is sort of just ours, and everyone's beaming. It's great.